Well, quilt making, for one thing, has passed down from generation to generation. Started many years ago. We can go back to Harriet Powers, who started one of the first quilts. She started the picture quilt, and she did a Bible quilt. That has spoke a lot about what goes on in the quilting world. So it goes down and down until we come to today. We have more of the portrait quilts, and we have quilts that are fiber art. So when you combine all this together, you start learning that from past to present, quilting is definitely a part of American history, and it's definitely a part that helps to preserve American history. Yes, this piece is called Days Gone By. Actually, this was one of my first pieces when I started quilting, getting into art quilting. Prior to that, I was more into heritage quilts, or I would say traditional quilts. And I have to go back and think about our mothers and our grandmothers. They did more utility quilts, quilts that they put together. They took old jeans and shirts and different things and put them together to make a quilt that was developed for warmth, that was developed to take care of us on a cold winter night. Down the line, you get into this type of quilting, but she would have been doing one of those quilts. So when I made this quilt, I felt this person, because she reminded me of somebody who was in the past, my grandmother, my aunt, my great-grandmother. Fruits of Her Labor is dedicated to all women who work themselves. They work very hard. They're very attentive to what they do. Fruits of Her Labor is a lady who sits in here, who worked in the garden. If you notice my quilts, they are dimensional. And I try to avoid getting too dimensional, but this part was really important for me to make it dimensional. I did a lot of filling in it to make her collards and cabbages. I wanted to make them like come out at you. And I felt that that was so important for this quilt, because it also kind of brings you back to the farmers. What they do is very important. Those things are green, and the farmers make sure that whatever they plant or put into being, it's going to work for us. Well, Acres of Ancestry is very important to us. Like I said, mainly because of the farmers. I always applaud the fact that we have to have farmers, we have to have food, we have to continue providing in the future for the younger people, for older ones before we pass away. So Acres of Ancestry is something that's very important to all of us. And it's so important that people know about it. A lot of people don't know about Acres of Ancestry, but because of Tracy McCurdy, because of an exhibit like this, people are starting to come out and learn about it. So it's a wonderful thing that people are learning about it. And they came here, they say this exhibit is beautiful, they're touched by it. That's very important. That's very important. So we hope that it continues on.